Om. Sarvadharmasthapakatvam sarvadharmaswarupakaha acharyanam mahacharyo Ramakrishnaya te namaha. O establisher of all the faiths, embodiment of all the religions, the greatest teacher among all the teachers, O Sri Ramakrishna, my salutations to you. Namaste, pranam. Sri Ramakrishna teaching us that the situation for a householder is extremely difficult. Extremely difficult when householders, they are trying to trade the path of spirituality, when they are trying to lead the path towards God realization. The path is extremely difficult for householders. This he is addressing mainly taking into account Rakhal's father is there in the audience. Rakhal's father's father-in-law is there among those devotees, and answering the question addressed by Rakhal's father's father-in-law. That, sir, can one realize God while leading the life of householder? Sri Ramakrishna is giving this teaching. It is extremely difficult. The householder's life is like a typhoid patient who is surrounded by all those savory things and pickles and water jars around him. How can he recover from that fever? Just looking at all those tempting pickles, his mouth will start watering and the typhoid fever will never ever come down. Like a goldsmith, if he's melting gold, if somebody disturbs him every now and then, oh, come here, I want your help, oh, come here, you show me this, you come. How can that goldsmith melt the gold and make any golden ornament by putting that molten gold in the mold? Impossible. Extremely difficult. Or Sri Ramakrishna gave another example of that person who is checking whether the paddy has been properly husked, whether the husk has been removed from the grain of rice. His constant duty is to check it constantly every now and then. Oh, is the husking work going on properly? Is the husk getting properly separated from the grain? While doing that work, if somebody is calling him again and again and disturbing him from checking whether the rice has been polished properly, the husk has been removed properly, how will he be able to do that duty? That is extremely difficult. Now, Sri Ramakrishna has brought the point up to this stage. So a devotee has a real doubt now. And he asks the question, what then is the way, sir? If we as householders, for us, this spiritual path is so very difficult, what is the way out for us? Is it that we can never get to have that God realization? Is it that the God realization is not going to be our domain at all? We householders, are we only to be drowned in this whirlpool of worldliness? Is there no way out? And then Sri Ramakrishna gives a very soothing answer. Sri Ramakrishna says, there is a way. Don't think there is not a way out. There is a way for the householders. But that way could be extremely difficult. So Sri Ramakrishna's answer now, there is a way. He's answering to this question, what then is the way, sir? Sri Ramakrishna's answer, there is a way. One succeeds if one develops a strong spirit of renunciation. One has to develop a strong spirit of renunciation. One has to develop that attitude of letting go, of giving up, of tyaga. Without that, there is no hope at all for the householders, Sri Ramakrishna says. Give up at once with determination what you know to be unreal. Discriminate between what is real and what is unreal. You are leading your householder's life. Do your duties, fixing your mind on God. At the same time, keep on always discriminating. Keep on always reasoning what is real, what is unreal. God is the only reality. The Satchidananda Brahman is the only reality. This entire thing around us is nothing but illusion. From the Vedantic standpoint, of course. Everything else, Brahma Satya Jagat Mithya. Always keep on harboring this thought in your mind of renouncing what is unreal. catch hold only of the real. And all this unreal, all this illusion, all these ephemeral things of the all these momentary things, you just discard them, you renounce them. That is the only solution for the householders, Sri Ramakrishna says. And then he gives his own example. Sri Ramakrishna says, once when I was seriously ill, I was taken to the physician Gangaprasad Sen. He said to me, I shall give you a medicine, but you must not drink any water. You may take pomegranate juice, but no water. Only then that medicine would work. I will give you the medicine, but not a single drop of water. Only exception was I could drink pomegranate juice. Everyone wondered how I could live without water. Extremely difficult. Can we even think of living without water for maybe 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, or till I get recovered, till the time I have to take that medicine? How can I remain without water? And Sri Ramakrishna says, everyone wondered whether I would be able to remain, I would be able to follow this advice that the Dr. Gangaprasad Sen had given for me if I have to take that medicine. But I was determined not to drink it. And I said to myself, I am a paramahamsa. I am a paramahamsa, not a goose. I shall drink only milk. If Dr. Gangaprasad Sen wants me to drink only pomegranate juice, I will drink only pomegranate juice. I am a paramahamsa. I am not an ordinary hamsa. I am not an ordinary goose. Paramahamsa is the one who has attained to ultimate enlightenment. And he was, of course, known as Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. Now, Sri Ramakrishna said, if I am Paramahamsa, I will drink only milk. Now, as per the tradition, it goes that Paramahamsa, that is the swan. Swan drinks only milk. Now, how it happens, there is a science behind it actually. When this swan, if there is a pot of milk and you place a pot of milk before the swan, while drinking that milk, it will take out some kind of enzyme through its saliva. It curdles the milk, and the swine, very wise, very intelligent, it will take up only the solid portion which gets separated from the whey, the chena. The swan will take only the solid portion, and one feels as if the swan has drunk only the milk and all the water is left out. So Sri Ramakrishna gives that example, that I am a Paramahamsa, I cannot drink anything but milk. If that is the thing, I will certainly follow doctor's advice. I will not drink water till the time I am under his medication. So that's how Sri Ramakrishna, he actually followed that advice without drinking a drop of water. Only exception was some drops of pomegranate juice, maybe some 1 or 2 spoons. And on that pomegranate juice, he had to quench his thirst, he has to fulfill his requirement for intake of water. That was the only exception that the Gangaprasad Sen, the Vaidya, he had provided. And then Sri Ramakrishna says, yes, it is possible if one determines, if one has a strong determination. Like I had that strong determination, I followed the advice. I drank only pomegranate juice. If one has such strong determination, one can certainly renounce these worldly temptations. There is nothing in the worldly temptations to go after them. So have a strong will, have a strong determination, and you will succeed, Sri Ramakrishna says. And then he gives another way out. What is the way out, the devotee has asked? One is, with strong determination, you should renounce the worldly pleasures. That is the first and foremost. And second, you have to spend a few days in solitude. You have to spend a few days all alone from the hustle bustle of this worldly life. Get away from this hustle bustle. Get away from this worldly noise and spend some time in solitude. Be with your chosen ideal only. Be with your Ishta Devata only, only the child and the mother, only the servant and the master, only the devotee and the deity. Let that solitude come upon you. Let all your thoughts be with your chosen ideal in that moment, in that phase of solitude. So, get into solitude for a few days, Sri Ramakrishna says. And then he gives an example that if you but touch the granny, you are safe. The granny is here, it is the example given is the granny in that game of hide and seek. Now, in the game of hide and seek, there is a leader. That leader is called as granny. That leader will blindfold other players, and the leader will hide at one place. Now, these other players who are blindfolded, they have to keep on finding where is the granny, where is the granny, where is the leader sitting, and they have to grow up with the blindfold. And then the moment a player touches granny, the granny will open the blindfold and that fellow is out of the game. He has to no more struggle in finding the granny. So like that, the Sri Ramakrishna is giving that as an example that if you touch the granny, you are out of this game. So get into solitude. Once the moment you are with your chosen ideal, that is it. You are away from the hustle bustle of this worldly noise. You can very well spend your time only chanting the name, only thinking about the glories of your chosen ideal. And then turn yourself into gold and then leave wherever you please. Turn yourself to gold. Touch the nanny. Get that blindfold from your eyes. Get off that blindfold. And then you live the way you want. You want to then you lead the life of householder? Live the life of householder. You want to live the life of a renunciate? Live the life of a renunciate. Whichever way you want to live in this world, then the choice is yours. Now you have the God's hand holding your hand. Now you can never go astray, you can never go haywire, you can never fall on this path. God is holding you by his hand. After realizing God and divine love in solitude, one may live in the world as well. Then there is no worry, then there is no difficulty, then there is no problem at all. But first, one must have the God realization. One must touch the granny so that the blindfold is removed and everything is crystal clear. What is holy, what is unholy, what is mine, what is not mine, what is real, what is unreal. Everything becomes crystal clear. And then we only hold on to the real, we only hold on to the eternal, we only hold on to the permanent, throwing away all these impermanent and momentary and ephemeral things of this creation. And then to Rakhal's father, specifically to Rakhal's father, now Sri Ramakrishna is addressing. To Rakhal's father, that is why I ask the youngsters to stay with me. Now, Rakhal, quite often Rakhal stays with Sri Ramakrishna. And therefore, Sri Ramakrishna is telling Rakhal's father, that is why quite often I tell these youngsters to stay with me, for they will develop love of God by staying here a few days. By staying here, by seeing how Sri Ramakrishna works, how Sri Ramakrishna behaves, how Sri Ramakrishna is totally free from all these worldly temptations and attachments and enjoyments. They will also pick up those threads and start following Sri Ramakrishna. So, after that, they can very well lead the life of a householder. So let them stay with me for some time. Let them stay with the God incarnate. Let them see me. Let them see me how I am living. Let them test me. And Sri Ramakrishna always tell his disciples, if you have any doubt, test me. Test my spirit of renunciation. Test my spirit of oneness with my Divine Mother. Test, test, test. And only after you are assured, only after you pass me in that test that yes, Thakur has attained God realization, then you start following me. Not before that. You test me. So Sri Ramakrishna is telling and assuring Rakhal's father that it is good that Rakhal and his youngsters, they are spending their time with me so that they can study me, they can learn from me. And once they have learned the spirit of renunciation, once they have learned the spirit of dependence on God, once they have learned the outcome of God realization, then they may live. Then, if Rakhal wants to continue as a householder, let him. Sri Ramakrishna says, nothing wrong in that. But first, any householder for that matter, why only Rakhal? Any householder should first have God realization and then jump into this whirlpool. Then nothing is going to drown. Then that devotee, that spiritual aspirant is wonderfully going to swim over all obstacles in that whirlpool. Now there is nothing that is going to drown that aspirant back into this worldly whirlpool of enjoyments. No, that is history then. Now, having attained the God realization, having attained the ultimate truth, having realized the ultimate truth of what is real, what is unreal, then without any hassle, without any doubt, without any hesitation, wherever you want to live, you live. If you want to lead a life of a householder, lead a life of a householder. If you are so keen to lead a life of a renunciate, live the life of a monk, live the life of a nun as you wish. But first and foremost, have the God realization. That is Sri Ramakrishna's teaching to the householders. After that, they can very well lead the life of householder. Om Namah Shri Bhagavate Ramakrishnaaya. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Jai Thakur, Jai Ma, Jai Swamiji.